Comparative adjectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the use of comparative to compare two different things, and you will be able to use the correct ending for comparative adjectives. What do we mean by comparative adjectives? We use comparative adjective to compare two things, people, places, or any other things. For example, Ahmed is taller than his son. Sarah is happier than her sister. A car is more expensive than a bicycle. How to form a comparative? To form a comparative, we will start with the noun, the subject, followed by verb be. Then we will add the comparative adjective with the correct spelling, followed by than, and finally the object. For example, Ahmed is taller than his son. Cars are more expensive than a bicycle. To write the correct comparative adjective, we need to check how many syllables do we have in one adjective, and based on that, we need to decide if we are going to add er only, we need to double the last letter, or we need to add anything else than that to the adjective to make it comparative. So let's see what we have or what we need to do if we have one syllable adjective. For one syllable adjective, add er and then. For one syllable adjective, which ends in one vowel and one consonant, double the last consonant and add er. Remember that we don't need to double the consonant that ends with y. For example, clean will be cleaner, small will be smaller, tall will be taller. Wet, let's end with a vowel followed by consonant, so it will be water. Big will be bigger, we need to double the G. Hot will be hotter, we will double the T also. And thin will be thinner, we will double the N. Two and more syllable adjective. Use more before almost all adjectives with two or more syllables. Less is the opposite of more. For example, important will be more important than. And if we want to talk about the opposite, we are going to use less, and it will be like this. Less important than. Expensive will be more expensive than. And if it's the opposite, it will be less expensive than. If we have two syllable adjective ending in y, we need to remove the y and add IER. For example, happy will be happier than. As. We use as plus the adjective plus as to say that two things are similar or the same. And if we want to say that something is less than that or not as same, we will say not as same as. For example, my salary is not as high as yours. Here we have the syllables and how many syllables each adjective have and how can we change them into comparative with examples. So if we have one syllable adjective, we only need to add er. For example, cars are faster than bicycle. If we have one syllable adjective that ends with vowel followed by a consonant, we need to double the last letter and add er. Jeddah is hotter than Riyadh. We have more than two syllables. We need to add more. For example, studying for your exam is more important than watching TV. If we have two syllable adjective that ends with y, to change it or to make it a comparative, we need to delete the y and add IER. For example, Sarah is happier than her sister. And if we want to compare between two things that are the same, we are going to use as. For example, London is as expensive as Riyadh. Here we have a practice. Complete the sentences using the comparative form of the adjective between brackets. You can pause the video and do the exercise. You will find the answer in the following slide. Thank you for watching.